Good evening, and so glad to have you back with me. Tonight, we step quietly into the intriguing life of Marie Antoinette. But first, before we begin, I'd love to know where you're joining us from. Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Curl up, get comfortable, and let's gently enter her world. You awaken before the hush of Versailles has fully lifted, before even the candles along the vaulted ceiling have sighed out their last sparks. A pale glow seeps through lace curtains, weaving gentle patterns on the cold marble floor. The air is cool, carrying the faint breath of orange blossom and distant lavender from the palace's hidden gardens. Your eyelids open to a world poised between dreams and day, where time drifts not in measured hours, but in the hush of silk against skin, in the weightless drift of a powdered curl, in the soft echo of distant footsteps awakening through gilded corridors. Here you will move as Marie Antoinette once did, not as legend, not as monarch, but as a woman wrapped in quiet moments of routine and ritual, each gesture infused with fragrance, each breath a journey through silken drapes and cool porcelain. You will share her morning's suspended stillness as bath water warms around your shoulders, scented with sweet almond and pine, while ladies in waiting murmur behind screens of woven linen. You will feel the hush of courtly anticipation as you choose fabrics from swatches of pastel taffeta and muslin, mark your day's gowns with delicate pins, and watch as polished shoes are ferried close with soft-footed ceremony. You will breathe the hush of chapel prayers and taste the simple warmth of chocolate sipped from fragile china. You will step into your private world at Petit Trianon, where rustic paths hum with bird song, and the river's murmur is gentle as lullaby, and you will press your ear to the soft music in the Queen's Theatre, letting a harpsichord's notes bloom in velvet air. In these pages, there will be no thunder of history's turning, no shards of revolution, no hammering drums of politics, only the quiet bloom of daily life. You will walk with her through gilded corridors and hidden gardens, through the soft rustle of dresses, through gentle favors and whispered confidences, each moment bath soft, each breath measured to the hush of dawn. And as you go, through dressing, prayer, music, family, you will find yourself lulled by the soft cadence that closes each chapter, as if the day drifts itself gently to rest. Step softly into this world and let your voice fall into its dreamy rhythm. You remain wrapped in the soft stillness of your chamber as daylight, pale and tender, gathers itself at the threshold. Your lady-in-waiting opens the doors without sound, balancing a large, ornate tub upon a gleaming silver stand. The tub is rolled in, and with quiet devotion, water is poured, each warm wave meeting the chilled air with a whisper. Over the rim drifts the gentle steam, curling like a pale cloud around your shoulders. Water rises softly, filling the tub with golden warmth, while delicate scents, pine nuts, sweet almonds, and straw flower petals drift from sachets entrusted to you by Farjan, your renowned perfumer. As you step closer, the perfumed air envelops you, a gentle caress of nutty, floral notes mingling, promising comfort and calm. You slip each toe into the bath first, the water warmly accepting you, steady and abiding as dawn's light. You descend fully, the water rising to cradle your shoulders. The warmth spreads, diffusing through your skin like a soft sigh. The quiet attendant holds a linen-lined gown, close, ready to enfold you when the time arrives. The bath is more than ritual. It is a sanctuary of scented, warm immersion. Around you, attendants move with low, respectful murmur, their attention present but unseen, allowing your senses to soften. Drops of water cling to your skin and glisten in the morning glow, each one a tiny spark of hush. When at last your attendant helps you rise, the linen robe brushes over your wet skin, cool, powdered with the faintest dusting of orange blossom, and soothing as dawn itself. You wrap yourself slowly, savoring the contrast, the plush linen against the enduring warmth beneath. Your breakfast arrives then, carried with unsurpassed delicacy. A small, fine tray glides near. On it rests steaming chocolate, fragrant of the tropics, and a kipful, gently golden. You lift the mug. The warmth fills your fingers, breathes its sweetness into your senses. You take a quiet sip, followed by a gentle bite of the pastry, its soft crumb melting gently on your tongue. Resting with your breakfast beside the tub, you watch the steam rise and curl, as if reluctant to leave you. The scents of almond and pine mingle with chocolate's rich sweetness, knitting themselves into the pattern of your calm. You let the rhythm of your breath match the gentle whisper of steam, one becoming the promise of the other. Benches from the courtyard, soft sounds of silk and footsteps remind you that courtly life stirs beyond these walls. Yet here, in your private solitude of warmth and scent, you gather your senses, lingering in perfumed stillness. The beginnings of the day, gentle and measured, enfold you. You rise at last, summoning the quiet of movement, a soft step toward silk-lined chairs, a pause as the gown is drawn close. This is your threshold, moored between the river of night and the river of day, held in the curve of the bath's memory, scented, warm, and wholly yours. Softly, you emerge. You awaken to a stillness once more, gentle yet charged with the promise of ceremony. Candles now greet the day not only with light but with potential, their pale flames mirrored in the polished surfaces of your dressing table. The air is a touch warmer here, bearing the faint echo of yesterday's perfumes and the turning of fabric within hidden wardrobes. Your toilette begins not behind closed doors, but upon a shallow dais placed in the center of your private chamber. There, silks and taffeta surround you like patient companions, awaiting their place in the day's unfolding. Folding chairs are arranged quietly for those allowed entry, your ladies poised like still statues in the soft light. Your hairdresser, Monsieur Leonard, arrives with soft steps and steady hand, his reverence for your presence as delicate as the scents you wear. He brings prearranged stacks of pastel hair ribbons, pomade, and gauze to lift your hair into shape that carries stories, memories, and whispered intentions. You remain still as sculptors, yielding to structure. Monsieur Leonard arranges pads and gauze to form the groundwork. Height and elegance become line and balance upon your head. The poof takes form, rising like a soft cloud tethered to your scalp and crowned with flowers or feathers, each placement deliberate and unhurried. This elevated shape is more than ornament. It is expression, a whispered language visible from every corridor. Nearby, Rose Bertin, your trusted modiste, stands ready with fabric samples pinned to boards, each named and scented. Heart's agitation, stifled sighs, or pale dawn. You trace their surfaces with gentle fingertips, inhaling the faint musk of dye and the promise of their folds. Every gown is a vow, the way it drapes, the way it moves, the whisper of seconds spent in deliberate choice. Monsieur Leonard works with quiet confidence, stringing curls and powdering wisps of hair molded to grace your neck and ears. Natural pastes, a blend of turmeric, sandalwood, or rhubarb, tint your hair beneath its gilded shell, preserving vibrancy even under the grand coiffure. You inhale the spice and herbal warmth, guided by expert hands that shape not just your hair, but the soft mood of ceremonial readiness. A gentle chorus of rustling fabrics begins as you rise. The ladies assist one another in soft solemnity. The skirt glides over polished floorboards. The bodice clasps shut with delicate clicks, and your movement ripples through gathered folds. Each gown is part of your daily transformation. 3 changes are customary: the morning dress, the afternoon undress, and the evening robe de soirée. You choose with calm deliberation, conscious of cloth weight, color nuance, and the air that will fill your skirt as you walk. In this moment, you are no longer merely a woman preparing for a day, but a living canvas shaped by perfumed strokes of powder, ribbon, braid, and silk. Your reflection, revealed in the wide, gilded mirror, is quiet grandeur made flesh. The final touch arrives as a breath, a delicate whisper of rosewater upon your skin, a faint plume of jasmine in your hair, a lace cuff drawn gently over your wrist, and a knot guaranteed to be poised and soft. Your chamber dims as the court gathers beyond the threshold, awaiting your presence with hushed politeness. You pause, barely, for that final breath, letting your heart match the soft pulse of the chamber. And then, as if carried by the rustle of your skirts, you step outward into the quiet glow of public routine, graceful as a dawn swirl, and softly, completely yourself. You rise again in the soft aftermath of your toilette, the air serene and steady. The chamber holds a quiet promise, as though the walls themselves breathe in reverence. Your gown, lighter now, perhaps a fine muslin or linen, brushes softly against your ankles as you move through satin-slippered feet toward the chapel. Rays of pale light filter through stained glass, gilding carved pews and frescoed ceilings with a hushed glow. In the chapel's hush, you kneel before the altar, candlelight flickering gently along marble and gold. The silent grandeur enfolds you, echoing the calm beat of your own breath. Perhaps the ceiling above dramatizes redemption, the Father in glory, saints lifted in painted grace, as artists such as Coypel and Delafosse dreamed upon plaster and pigment. Your whispered prayers rise into that sacred dawn, a soft offering before the day awakens wholly. Love and devotion interlace in those quiet moments. Steady footing, quiet sighs against carved stone, a hush that deepens as you surrender your own heartbeat to the quiet liturgy. Your prayers are not grand declarations, but gentle acknowledgments, breath made still, breath made soft. When your devotions conclude, you leave the chapel in deliberate quiet, stepping back into the pale corridors of Versailles. Perfume of beeswax and incense lingers in the hush of arches and tapestries, a memory that travels with you as you return to your chamber. There, breakfast awaits, offered not in ceremony, but in simple grace. A delicate tray rests upon a small table set near your open window. A fine cup of coffee or rich chocolate stands paired with a kipful, a small, still warm roll. Austrian in origin, its crumbs soft enough to melt upon your tongue. These humble comforts, warm and fragrant, offer solace in the calm aftermath of prayer. Your fingers curl around the handle of the porcelain cup, and the warmth seeps gently into your palm. The steam carries whispers of cocoa and comfort. You draw that scent into your senses as you sip. The kipful crumbles softly beneath your touch. Each mouthful is quiet and golden, as though dawn itself has been pressed into the bread. Sometimes, as sources share, this breakfast may follow in muted proximity to your ceremonial toilette, or even follow it while you linger in the bath's calm. Yet here you are, clothed, coherent, awake. Courtiers await at the threshold, attendants or intimate confidants permitted to enter the soft sphere of this half-public moment. You may receive brief greetings from your physician, secretary, or noble visitor, but only softly, in low tones and measured poses. Words are few, gestures are faint. You taste warmth, faith, familiarity. The chapel's echo still brushes your skin. The room's glow softens your gaze, and breakfast seems like a poem written in porcelain, scent, and quiet breath. And as you breathe in that gentle warmth, not only the taste of chocolate, but the assurance of day's quiet opening, you pause. The world outside your chamber stirs. But here, within this chamber, within this breath, time is a calm river. You finish your breakfast, gathering the last tendrils of warmth, preparing to step into the day in grace and hush. Softly now, you rise, placing the empty cup upon its tray. The candlelight begins to fade as daylight grows stronger, and the morning's cadence sets in. Measured footsteps ahead, soft rustle of gowns, quiet expectation. The day proceeds from prayer through gentle nourishment, each element balanced, each moment settled in serene continuity. You step from the hushed retreat of your chamber into the soft, morning-lit enfilade of the Queen's great apartment. The gilt walls gleam like pale honey, each panel and carving a muted symphony of gold and ivory. The polished parquet floor underfoot reflects shimmering tracery of candlelight and dawn, as though time itself dances upon the boards. Here, in these 4 rooms, your domain of ritual and courtesy, you attend to your solemn duties, softly and with quiet grace. You move gently from one salon to the next, a practiced line of motion, no sudden gestures, no sudden breath, only the measured navigation of presence and poise. Courtiers wait in whispers. In the first chamber, your ladies greet you with bowed heads and gentle murmurs, petite introductions offered and graciously received. The air is filled with the faint scent of lavender sachets tucked into dominoes, soft gestures balancing preservation and comfort in this bright morning court. Each step you take draws forth hushed acknowledgement, a curtsy, a nod, a barely audible "Madam." Your voice, when you choose to speak, is a calm current, soft in its authority, tempered by the rhythm of silk rustling across polished floors. In the next salon, a visitor seeks an audience, perhaps your secretary, or one of your physician's gentle emissaries. Their presence is brief and shadow-like, conveyed in hushed tones. You pause, listen, respond with courtesy, imparted in a measured whisper. This is royal duty embodied, delicate, refined, inwardly powerful. The chambers stretch on, an intimate procession toward appearances, each room offering soft ceremony rather than spectacle. When meals are held here, occasional formal arrangements at the royal table, they unfold not in procession, but in discreet elegance, music floating in from hidden performing platforms. Yet today is not of music or dining. It is the art of presence. You glide through the rooms, as though they were extensions of your breath, your awareness measured at each turn. In a moment, you pause before a gilded mirror. You study your reflection. There is calm in the curve of your smile, assurance in your silence. You are queen, and in the hush of these chambers, that role rests lightly, like a folded wing poised for flight. As you move onward, the pale glow follows you, tracking along gilded molding and reflecting in the sparkle of crystal chandeliers overhead. Courtiers depart, offering their half-steps toward exit, their movements as soft as petals falling upon silk. You stand at the threshold, having navigated the grace of morning ritual. These duties, though ceremonious, are not burdens, but the embroidery of daily life, weaving outward from the quiet of your chamber into the broader tapestry of Versailles. Softly you breathe, gathering the echo of guilt and hushed voices into your heart. You step back toward your private realm, the echo of silk on marble, your only companion. And within that step, the day unfolds. You wander from the formality of court into the quiet refuge of your beloved Petit Trianon, its soft limestone facades rising like a tender promise among greenery. Here, the world narrows to light, scent, and gentle motion. The chateau, modest yet gracious, breathes with familiarity, its four facades each mirroring the designs of the gardens that surround them, delicate neoclassical lines softened by the warmth of dawn-lit stone. Stepping into the English-style gardens you commissioned, you breathe in relief. The air is sweet with blossoms and fresh earth, and the paths unfold beneath your feet in unhurried arcs. Exotic shrubs mingle with familiar blooms. A hidden grotto murmurs in the shade, and sunlight drifts through leaves above. It is a garden both wild and tender, one you shaped with your own hand as a quiet counterpoint to Versailles' strict geometry. You guide your steps toward the Queen's Hamlet, a collection of rustic cottages gathered round a small, rippling pond, its surface kissed by morning light. The structures, built in Norman or Flemish rural style, seem to grow from the land rather than intrude upon it. There is a farmhouse, dairy, dovecote, mill, and even a quaint lighthouse tower perched nearby, each made to feel real, fragile as a memory. Here the air is more than fresh. It is alive. You trace your fingers along timbered walls, inhale the faint scent of hay and milking pails, and listen to the quiet hum of a working farm tucked gently within your own retreat. Cows nibble at low grass, hens peck in a yard, and sheep lie under the shade of fruit trees, their wool soft as clouds. The hamlet is not mere fantasy. It serves, and it shelters. You slip into a light muslin dress, nothing embroidered, no satin skirts or stiff bodices, opting instead for informal ease. A straw berger hat crowns your simplicity. This is you, unguarded and real. You wander between gardens and cottages, perhaps stepping inside your own small house, connected by a wooden gallery to the billiard room. The interiors feel domestic. Books, soft chairs, the quiet hum of wood beneath your feet, yet alive with your presence. A gentle breeze carries the scent of orchard blossoms and fresh bread from a functional dairy. You pause at the mill, listening to its quiet turning. The world feels as if it were made of sighs and petals, and within that place you linger, more queen of peace than queen of protocol, held by the steady pulse of nature and privacy. Here there is no pageantry, no bowing and curtsying, only sunlight, soft earth, and the peaceful line of water winding through your retreat. It is the world you've chosen when formality fades, simple tender, awake. The day rests here with you, unhurried, pastoral, gentle. You walk softly through the dappled shade of the Petit Trianon grounds, the soft gravel shifting beneath your slippered steps as you approach a small building set slightly apart. Your secret retreat. The Queen's Theatre stands inconspicuous from without. Its plain exterior cloaks the rich warmth within, as if the facade itself holds its breath in deference to privacy. You pause at a painted door, its weight gentle yet assuring, and step inside to where silence awaits. Within, the theatre unfolds like a dream. Cobalt blue velvet embraces gilded balustrades and carved acanthus leaves, crafted from papier-mâché with copper-colored gilt, linger in delicate illusion, savoring the soft pinprick of light as though breathing softly with the chamber's hush. Overhead, Apollo drifts among the muses in a painted ceiling by Lagrenet, their forms drifting across a pale gold sky, a silent invocation of gentleness and artistry. You take your place among the few chairs arrayed in velvet hush. Music flows, perhaps a melody from Gluck, Grétry, or Sacchini, echoed from scores you commissioned with quiet excitement. The notes rest on the air just above your thoughts, each one delicate and desired, as though the sound itself were a hush you could cradle. Between acts, you may surprise yourself with a cameo, stepping gently onto the stage to play a comedy with trusted friends, reveling in that rare freedom of expression, a breath caught between formality and laughter. The stage's machinery, hidden beneath and above, creaks and glides with soft mastery, revealing shifting scenery that brings a rustic interior or elegant salon to life as though by candlelit magic. Around you, the hush is not empty. It brims with presence, the soft rustle of a gown, the glint of gilded arms, the quiet breath before laughter or applause, the shared look of satisfaction between players and audience. You smile gently as music and the theatre's hush dress you in quiet delight. When the final chord fades, you linger in its fading echo. The velvet seems to glow from within, and Apollo's face looks down upon the empty stage, as though blessing the silence you unfold in his presence. You rise, the air light upon your shoulders, and step back through that modest door, carrying into the hushed gardens the soft resonance of song. Softly, your footsteps retrace the path to the Petit Trianon, your secret world of sound and stillness held quietly within your heart as the day unfolds once more. You return from the hush of the theatre and the fading glow of day to the gently lit corners of your private apartments, a sanctuary beyond the grand state rooms. A secret door, draped in gold-accented fabric, yields quietly. Your admission into rooms suffused with warmth and familiarity, far from the courtier's gaze. These were once inaccessible, yet here, in this ordered hush, they are your true refuge. Over time, you have imbued these rooms, the Meridienne room and the Gold room, with your spirit, making them retreats of reflection and familial comfort. Soft candlelight flickers over toile de jouy, wall coverings, and gilded carvings as you enter, the hush thickened by shadows and whispered memories. The scent of old paper from your library, the faint undertone of honeyed wax, and the muted elegance of these rooms envelop you, guiding you gently to the spaces you cherish most. Your children wait, their laughter a low murmur, threaded with innocence and repose. You gather them close, Marie Thérèse, serene and attentive, Louis Charles, with a curiosity that beams from his eyes, and those tender vestiges of memory held in this circle. The portrait by Vigée Lebrun hangs nearby, depicting you in gracious maternal poise, the children arrayed in gentle proximity, a testament to your enduring love. You cradle them against your heart, their weight light and grounding, like petals pressed into your palm. Their breath whispers against your neck, and a soft lullaby drifts from your lips, a mother's vow in melody, steady and warm. Their small fingers trace your gown, tracing golden folds as though reading stories in the fabric. As twilight deepens, you sit together on elegant upholstered furniture. The children nestle beside you beneath plush cushions. A gentle hush settles, punctuated only by the flutter of page turns as you read from stories, tales of forests, of kindness, of nights bright with stars. Your voice is warm and slow, each word a soft caress, while their eyes fall heavy with comfort and story. Between anecdotes, they press soft palm to cheek, and you allow yourself a quiet moment, head bowed, hands folded over theirs, the rhythm of familial solace grounding you. Outside, distant hallways stir with movement, but here, only stillness remains. Soon, a trusted attendant appears with a tray, a small cup of warm milk, fragrant with honey, and a crisp biscuit shaped like a star. Each child accepts the offering with childhood grace, the warmth spreading through your shared circle, a comfort deeper than words. You sip indulgently, the warmth mingling with the candlelight in your chest. Your son's eyes carry questions about forests, about stars, about faraway lands. You answer gently, weaving truth with wonder, tracing maps of forests in the air above their heads, naming constellations that hang in dreams. In this hush, imagination blooms like candlelight. Constellations drift into gardens, forestry paths unravel into pages, and motherhood becomes the quiet artistry of memory. As the candle dwindles, their eyelids grow heavier. You rise, carrying one child, cradled against a soft shoulder, the other's hand in yours as you guide them toward a simple bed nestled against a curtained alcove. A gentle lull finds you, low and murmured, coaxing rest with promises of morning sun, fresh bread, and the scent of bloom. They drift into sleep, their breaths soft and steady. You linger, brushing a kiss upon their foreheads, the echo of their hearts, steadfast in their peace, tracing the pulse within your own chest. At last, you slip away, soft-footed, reverent, as their dreams settle deep. The room holds its hush, imbued with your presence, with wonder, with love. In the glow of one remaining candle, you stand in the quiet arc of mother and queen, that soft border where identity gently blurs into devotion. Then, as the candle breathes its last whisper, you step back into the silent stillness of your private chambers, the day complete, the night enveloped in repose. Here, wrapped in the hush of dusk and love, you rest. You glide through the quiet corridors of your private apartments, each step softened by the plush hush of French tapestry and the muted glow of gilded sconces. The air carries the lingering essence of your day, rosewater, almond, and the faint sweetness of children's milk, woven with the timeless rhythm of candlelight. Here, in the mosaic of shadow and warmth, time slows as twilight deepens. Tonight, unlike the ceremonial whirl of mornings, your departure from public life is deliberate, unhurried. Behind you lie the heights of powdered hair, the staged elegance of courtly duties, the whispered performances, and public adornments. Here, you shed each layer, not in haste, but with reverent care. In the drawing room, the harp awaits, silent and patient beneath pale silk curtains. You place your fingertips on its ivory keys, feeling their cool promise, and coax a meandering melody into the lamplit air, one that carries memory more than technique. Perhaps the murmured strains are yours alone, or shared with a gentle soul, Chevalier de Saint-Georges, his violin drawing out the tender ache of dusk, or played only for yourself, an intimate confession carried on harp notes. In the soft, fading glow, sound becomes sanctuary. When the melody ends, you retreat to your writing table. There, letters lie, inked declarations to distant loved ones, to your mother, to Marie Therese, beyond these walls. Your quill dips into ink that shimmers like a fallen star, and you write slowly, each word shaped by longing and maternal tenderness. In the garden of your thoughts, you sow line after line of hope. That tenderness outlasts upheaval. That memory remains luminous beyond formality. The pen rests, and you rise, guided by a hush that carries you beyond the drawing room's silk-draped charm to the small boudoir annex, your cabinet de glace mouvante. Mirrors rise silently at your gesture, soft light fracturing into reflections of gold-leafed walls and a lone chair upholstered in blue damask. Here, no eyes watch your retreat. Here, you are simply yourself, reflected in fragments and quiet truths. You draw a robe of pale silk around yourself, the fabric draping like a promise, its folds brushing the bare wood at your feet. The softness of its weight falls across your shoulders, and a scent of lavender drifts nearby, tucked into sachets along the window's sill. The world beyond the glass is dark, the gardens silent, but for a distant ripple from the Queen's hamlet, its pond mirroring moonlight, the thatched cottages asleep in their pastoral hush. In the distance, you sense the breath of night through your window, the whisper of trees, the low murmur of watermill, the furtive stir of small creatures in moonlit paths. These are echoes of the simple refuge you once carefully created, where silence was companion, nature your confidant, where you slip between worlds, court and sanctuary, with felt instinct. You move toward your bed, its canopy of pale silk, draped like the sky at first light. The hearth has grown quiet. Only faint embers glow within the hearth's cradle. A servant appears quietly, offering a final cup of warm milk, scented with honey and the whisper of spice, and a small sweetbread, honeyed and ember soft. You accept in silence, allowing warmth and sweetness to linger on your tongue, anchoring the closing hours of your day. Lifting the canopy, you tuck yourself into the cradle of linens, soft, pale, and cool against your skin. The perfume of linen and faint rose drifts through the air. You feel the steady rhythm of your breath, the quiet bloom of candlelight fading to shadow. Tonight, your mind drifts not on revolution or rumor, but on petals, lullabies, and the beating hearts of those you love. You drift through memory to the first moments of morning, when dawn's hush warmed your skin, to the measured footsteps through gilded halls, to laughter in the hamlet's meadows, to melodies strung like pearls in the Queen's theatre, to soft, intimate refuge beside your children, to the muted power of presence among courtiers. Here, where the line between roles gently fades, you rest. The difference between queen and mother, public figure and private self, a silent balance held in the hush of silk and shadow. Your eyes close as the final candle, guttering near the window, breathes its last glow. In darkness, the silence gathers, and you become no longer a figure in history, but simply a woman at peace, wrapped in love, memory, and the soft cadence of night.